We have Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Nicole Walker Ward. We have the mother, Wardat Barak. We have her attorney, Julie Kennedy. We have the children's attorney, Carolyn Gaston. We have Melissa DeYoung, who is a supportive party for mother here. She resides with, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll just note for the record that the court is adjourning on the putative and unknown fathers today. And so has instructed Ms. Dubus, who is the father's attorney, that attorneys that are father's attorney, that she was not required to attend today. And the other issue that the court needs to deal with is whether the parties are willing to waive notice in this matter, because we did schedule this short notice.
Yes, Your Honor.
I would
Yes,
waive
Your
it.
Honor.
All right, then I think we can proceed. And it's my understanding that there has been an agreement reached regarding a plea. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, and it's my understanding that the plea agreement is to an amended a petition that's been provided to all of the parties. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All
Yes,
right,
Your Honor, I have it too.
okay. And are the parties willing to waive the reading of that amended petition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gaston, do you believe that the proposed plea is in the best interest of each of these children?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Barak, would you raise your right hand, please? Would you state your name for the record and spell it?
Wardat Mbarak, first name Wardat, last name Mbarak, M as in Mary, B as in boy, Arak.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I swear.
Okay, thank you. Do you understand the amended petition?
Yes,
And you have a copy of it?
yes, my lawyer showed me.
Okay. And if you admit the allegations in the petition, the amended petition, you'll be giving up a number of rights. The first is a right to a trial by a judge or jury. The next is to require that the prosecutor prove the allegations in the petition beyond a preponderance or majority of the evidence.
This is one of the most emotional moments in the hearing. Before accepting the plea, the judge pauses everything to make sure the mother truly understands what she's agreeing to. In cases involving children, courts don't want anyone making life-changing decisions without fully understanding the consequences.
The right to question the prosecutor's witnesses in person in court under oath, and the right to have the court order that any witnesses you believe would be helpful to your side of the case come to court in person to testify. Do you have any questions about any of these rights?
No,
Do you understand the rights that you'll be losing or giving up if you enter your plea today?
yes,
Okay. There are a number of possible consequences of the plea if you do admit today. The first is that your children may be made temporary wards of the court. That means the court has broad discretion regarding their placement, which may be in foster care with a relative or in a suitable institution. You'll be required to comply with a treatment plan to show that you are able to provide a safe and appropriate home for your children. You may be required to pay for some of the costs of this case, including your attorney fees, costs of care if the children are placed outside of the home, counseling costs, etc. Now, we'll hope that this next thing will not happen, and it certainly will not happen today, but I am required to tell you about all the future possibility or future possible consequences of your plea today. If in the future you cannot show that you can provide a safe and appropriate home for your children within a reasonable amount of time, given the circumstances and your progress, there may be a future request to terminate your parental rights, and your plea today may be used as evidence in that proceeding. If your rights are ultimately terminated in the future, you would have no input as to your children's medical treatment, education, discipline, or residence. You would also have no right to parenting time with your children, no right to inherit from them or receive any of their earnings. If you have a child support obligation, it would continue until a court of competent jurisdiction modifies or terminates it, an order of adoption is entered, or the child is emancipated by operation of law. Do you understand all of these consequences?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of those consequences?
No, this minute.
And have you reviewed the petition, the amended petition and the plea agreement with your attorney?
Yes.
Do you need to speak with her again before we go any further?
I think I'm okay.
If you want to speak with her, that's fine. We can take a short recess so you can do that. We want to make sure you fully understand what you're doing. And if you have questions for her, now's the time.
Okay, let me ask her.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
we're back on the record in this matter. And so I'm going to ask you, we just took a recess so that Ms. Mubarak could speak with her attorney. You're still under oath. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you just spoke with your attorney. Are you all set or do you need to speak with her further?
I'm all set.
Okay. All right. Next, I'm going to read each of the allegations in the amended petition and ask you whether you admit or deny or plead no contest. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Paragraph A reads, Ms. Wardette, Mubarak is the biological mother of A.M. the elder, A.L. and A.M. the younger.
Yes.
You admit?
Yes.
Paragraph B reads, Ms. Mubarak has named Mr. Abu Baker as the putative father of A.M. However, well, actually, we're going to be skipping the father.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
So I don't need to read those. Okay, we'll
Okay.
skip that. Well,
Okay.
we'll skip paragraphs B and C and move on to paragraphs D. or
Okay.
D. On February 2nd, 2026, Ms. Mubarak noticed that A.M. the younger was fussy and hard to console. Mom called her primary care physician, PCP, and Ms. Mubarak was advised to do a body assessment to poke around her body head to toe. Ms. Mubarak didn't notice additional concerns. Ms. Mubarak called the PCP again and got an appointment scheduled for Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. At the appointment, swelling of the left ankle was noticed and an x-ray was ordered and a fracture was found.
Yes.
You admit?
Yes. It's true.
All right. Paragraph E reads, A.M. the younger was evaluated by Dr. Corey Schmidt, Center for Child Protection, who diagnosed A.M. the younger with a buckle handle fracture at the distal left tibia. A diagnosis of pediatric physical abuse was given.
Yes. True.
You admit?
Yes. It's true.
Okay. Paragraph F reads, Ms. Mubarak was unable to explain how the injury occurred or when it happened. She was the primary care provider for A.M. the younger.
Yes.
Okay, you admit.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And has anyone made any threats towards you or any promises to encourage you to admit these allegations?
No.
Okay. Has anyone told you that you would get better treatment from the court if you admitted these allegations?
No.
Right? And admitting these allegations is of your own free will, your own choice.
Yes. Yes.
Right? The court is satisfied that there's a factual basis to accept the plea. I'm satisfied that Ms. Mubarak has been fully advised of her rights and is freely, understandingly, and voluntarily entering into this plea regarding the allegations of this petition. I further find by preponderance of the evidence that one or more of the statutory grounds alleged in the petition are true, and that Wardette Mubarak is a respondent in this matter. Appellate review is available to challenge any errors in the adjudicatory process, which may be challenged in an appeal from the initial order of disposition following adjudication. If you are indigent, you are entitled to the appointment of an attorney to represent you on any appeal as of right and to the preparation of relevant transcripts. You may be barred from challenging the assumption of jurisdiction or removal of your children from your care and custody in an appeal from the order terminating parental rights if you do not timely file an appeal under MCR 7.204 or a delayed appeal under MCR 3.993C. At any time while the court retains jurisdiction over your children, you may challenge the continuing exercise of that jurisdiction by filing a motion for rehearing pursuant to MCL 712A21 or by filing an application for leave to appeal with the Michigan Court of Appeals. And Ms. Nicole Walker, Ms. Walker Ward, would you and your adjudicated witness like to be, actually, I guess it's probably the same person, be excused?
Yes, Your Honor, and I do have two just issues to address. The first is it's based on my understanding that there are no there's no Native American heritage, so this is not an ICWA case. And then the second issue is that this was submitted as a mandatory petition pursuant to DHHS policy. However, I will be removing the request to terminate parental rights over the objection of the department. And the department does not wish to retain counsel to represent them further on that matter. So we would just proceed with initial disposition, and then there would obviously will be no request to terminate.
All right, thank you.
Right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're excused. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, Ms. Gaston, are you prepared to go on to disposition at this time?
I am, Your Honor.
All right.
I
And
would
go ahead.
call Samantha Martin.
All right, Ms. Martin, would you raise your right hand, please? Would you state your name and spell it for the record?
Samantha Martin, SAMANTHA MARTIN.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Ms. Gaston.
All right, thank you. Ms. Martin, would you please state and spell your name for the record?
Samantha Martin, SAMANTHA MARTIN.
And Ms. Martin, are you a supervisor at Samaritas West?
Yes, I am.
And are you the direct supervisor to Ambler Titchler, who is the assigned foster care worker to this matter?
Yes, I am.
In conjunction with supervising her efforts, are you familiar with this case, have spoken with her regarding same, and have reviewed the reports that have been submitted to the court for admission today?
That's correct.
Right. With regard to the reports, have you had an opportunity to familiarize yourself with the CPS investigation report with a complaint date of 2/4/2026?
Yes, I have.
I would ask that that be marked as Exhibit 1. How about the medical records for AM, the youngest?
Yes.
I would like to have that marked and admitted as Exhibit 2. And the case service plan with parent agency treatment plans dated 3/11/2026.
That is correct.
I'd ask that that be marked as Exhibit 3. And then the case service plan addendum signed on 4/21/26.
That is correct.
All right, I'd like that marked as Exhibit 4, and I'd move for the admission of all 4 exhibits.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
They're admitted.
Thank you. Ms. Martin, let's start with the children. We have AM, the eldest, and he is placed with his fictive grandmother, his mother's fictive mother through foster care, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
And she appears here on the Zoom with Miss Mubarak, true?
That is correct.
All right. He is in 1st grade
That is correct.
and doing fairly well in school, just a normal 1st grader. Fair to
Yes,
say?
that is fair to say.
With respect to any needs, he does, as do many children his age, have some nightmares and gets up at night and wants to be held by his grandmother, his fictive grandmother, or by his mother if she happens to be present, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Any medical needs for him?
Not that has been reported. No.
All right. Any dental needs for him?
No, there is not.
Any services that you feel that he's in need of?
No, at this time, there has been no services identified for AM the elder.
Okay. And with regard to how he's treated by his foster care placement, he is getting age and developmentally appropriate activities, true?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. If there's nothing else regarding AM, the eldest, can we move on to AL?
That's fine with me.
Okay, and AL is the middle child and he's in preschool, is that correct?
That is correct.
And he is also placed with his brother, with his fictive grandmother, correct?
That is correct.
All right, and he too is doing well in the home. I don't believe he has any medical or dental needs at this time, correct?
No, that is correct.
And he also is just sort of a well-rounded, kind of fun-loving, get out there and do it kind of kid. Is that right?
That is what has been reported, yes.
Okay, any service needs for him that you're aware of?
No, not at this time.
All right. If there's nothing else that the court needs to be advised of regarding him, can we move on to AM, the youngest?
Yes,
All right, AM, the youngest, is the child that brought this family to the court's attention. Is that correct?
that is correct.
And she was brought to the attention of the court due to a bucket fracture showing up when she was approximately 6 weeks old in one of her ankles. Fair to say?
That's correct.
And there's been no explanation as to how this injury could have occurred. True?
That is true.
All right. In oversight with the family and with Ms. Mubarak, the agency, I believe, has determined that there really are not any concerns that Ms. Mubarak would physically injure any of her children. Is that fair to say?
Yes, it is.
All right. What services has Ms. Mubarak been offered and obtained for herself?
At this time, Ms. Mubarak has been referred for a mental health therapist to specifically focus on postpartum. She has started engaging in that service weekly and reports to like that therapist. She has also been referred to the trauma-informed parenting class to just gain more education and knowledge of development and the trauma of the children being in foster care. And she recently obtained employment. We have not received pay stubs yet, but that's still fairly new. But overall, Ms. Mubarak has been very communicative with my worker as well as open to engaging in services. The biggest piece is just ensuring that we can get her mental health with the postpartum. I don't want to say under control because she's been doing very well, but making sure we address that barrier and making sure she has the parenting skills. But she has been doing fantastic in her parenting times. She does very well giving the attention to her two boys as well as AM, the youngest. And at this time, we don't have any concerns, just engaging in those services and seeing how the case goes.
And prior to case inception, Ms. Mubarak was residing with her fictive mother, who now has placement of the two boys, correct?
Correct, but Miss Mubarak also lives with fictive grandmother.
And that has,
I'm sorry, Ms. Gesson, I didn't want to interrupt you. I just wanted to clarify for the record, the boys were not removed from Ms. Mubarak. So they live with Ms. DeYoung, but they were never removed from her care. Just to clarify.
right. And the new petition, however, indicated that all three would remain in their placement. And so it's a little awkward. So but that is,
Okay,
that's my understanding also. There were no concerns with Ms. Mubarak remaining in the home with the two boys. Is that correct?
That is correct.
The only concern was with respect to the infant, AM, the youngest.
gotcha.
That is correct. She was made
Okay,
an out-of-home ward.
right. And she was made an out-of-home ward and placed with Ms. Mubarak's fictive grandparents,
Yes.
correct?
That is correct.
All right. And the family has been very close-knit in making sure that Ms. Mubarak could do breastfeeding and otherwise often see with agency's approval AM the youngest. Is that correct?
That is correct. We did a TDM very early on for relative or fictive kin supervision to allow for that bonding period with AM and Miss Mubarak.
So according to your testimony, the only concern that you have is mental health issues related to postpartum depression. Is that fair to say?
I do believe that's fair to say.
All right. And I bet it doesn't help postpartum depression to have your infant taken from your care and placed outside of your home. Is that also fair to say?
I think that's very fair to say.
All right. Have we had, is it your understanding that Ms. Mubarak's fictive mother works at the school where both, oh boy, AM, the eldest, and AL attend?
Yes, that is correct.
And so she is hands-on with them essentially 24/7. Is that correct?
Yeah, she is very involved.
All right. And she has also indicated a willingness to have AM, the youngest, placed back within her home, whereby she would be willing to supervise Ms. Mubarak's parenting time there if the agency would allow this. Is that true?
That is correct. It has been discussed having guidelines and safety plans to just ensure everyone's on the same page, but there is willingness to allow that to happen.
All right. And essentially, had this not been a mandated petition, when your agency began to look into it, would you have felt that this needed to be a case brought forward to the court for the children being at risk of harm?
No, I don't believe we would have.
Okay. At this time, do you see any risk of harm to the children for their return to Ms. Mubarak?
No, I do not.
Okay. And all are being appropriately cared for by close family. All are getting age and developmentally appropriate care and activities.
Yes, they
correct?
are.
All right. And do you see any risk of harm if the children return to their mother today?
No, I do not.
If the court chooses to keep the case open, is there a reunification service that could begin to be provided immediately?
Absolutely. We have already reached out to the Family Reunification Program, and they do have openings. If we were to return AM, the youngest, to Miss Mubarak, we could get that open pretty quickly. With this being a rapid reunification case, they are already aware that we are trying to get services in place with the boys that are in her care anyways.
All right. And what are your recommendations for today?
It's respectfully recommended that AM, the eldest, and AL remain in home wards. AM, honestly, if we can make it in home ward, I'm completely fine with that, or a temporary court ward, whatever the court seems fit. AM, the oldest, AL, AM, the youngest, remain in their respective placements. Ms. Mubarak continue to receive unsupervised parenting time, and Ms. Mubarak comply with her parent agency treatment plan. The goal continue to be reunification, and the court reviews the case as necessary.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Kennedy.
Thank you, Honor. Ms. Martin, you and Ms. Tritchler have kind of worked pretty closely with this family. Would you agree?
Yes, I would.
I think at one time, Ms. Tritchler spent 6 to 8 hours in the hospital with Ms. Mubarak and the two boys getting full body scans.
Yes, she has been very involved with this case to ensure that the medical appointments and the supervision has been there.
Okay, so when your agency speaks to like not having concerns, it is based on quite an unusual amount of time that has been spent with the family.
That is correct. It's the unusual amount of time, but also the fact that with observing Ms. Mubarak's parenting skills, as well as talking to Ms. DeYoung and knowing the supports that are already in place in the home, I truly do think that if AM, the youngest, was to be an in-home ward, I don't think she'd be in harm's way. I think that Ms. Young and Ms. Mubarak would definitely keep her safe.
Okay. And the family
Now the case takes an unexpected turn. Even though the infant suffered a serious injury, the CPS supervisor tells the court they don't believe the mother intentionally harmed her child. Instead, the focus shifts to postpartum mental health, parenting support, and whether this family can safely reunite.
dynamic before the injury was the five of them, the three children, Miss Mubarak and Mr. Young, correct?
That is correct.
And when the injury happened and they left the hospital, they returned to being a family of five, correct? There was just a safety plan in place for supervision.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay, then something changed. CPS brought a petition and the result was that the youngest was removed, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so what I hear your recommendation to be is to return AM, the youngest, to Miss Mubarak's care.
Yes, we would be completely in support of that.
Okay, and that is recognizing the willingness of Ms. Mubarak to continue to engage in the services, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And that she works with the Rapid Reunification or KRP, whatever the program is, correct?
Yes, we would want her to continue engaging services. Foster care would still stay open if there's barriers that arise.
And she has been, to my understanding, appreciative and engaging in all the services.
Yes, and very communicative as well.
Okay, and would you agree that from the petition itself and your reports, her response to her daughter's, behavior of being different was she sought out medical attention, correct?
Yes.
She followed up on all the concerns, and then has acted appropriately afterwards.
Yes, and she even contacted the PCP to get the genetic bone density test scheduled. She's been very on top of it since the case has opened, but also her responses to what led the child to come into care was, I believe, also very appropriate.
Okay, and I believe it's noted in the addendum, there was a belief that there was blood drawn at the hospital for the genetic test, but upon discovery, it was never actually either ordered or performed. So that has been rectified and will be taking place in May.
Yes, it's scheduled for May 9th.
Okay, all right. So that just is going to shed more light on the situation, perhaps.
It definitely could.
Okay, and in regards to the, I want to say AM, the eldest, one of the things Ms. Mubarak had indicated was just feeling bad that she prepared her oldest son for a new baby, and then the new baby was gone from the house, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So she's like taken into consideration how this has impacted all the children.
Yes, she has.
And she is appreciative of her family that has worked really hard to keep the children together and allow her all the parenting time that she could have with her daughter.
Yes, she is.
Do you have any reason to believe she will not be fully cooperative as the case continues on?
No, I have no reason to believe that that would shift.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further.
Ms. Gaston, any follow-up?
No, Your Honor.
I just have one question. How quickly can KRP be placed in the home?
I know with a different case, I emailed last week, Wednesday, and we have an intake scheduled for Tuesday next week. So I think if I was to email them today and say we got approval, I would say by next week. And if not, then Ms. Tischler would be going out to the home every week.
Okay, thank you. Any follow-up, Ms. Gaston?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Kennedy?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, any further witnesses, Ms. Gaston?
No, Your Honor.
Any witnesses, Ms. Kennedy?
No, Your Honor.
All right, statements, Ms. Gaston?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have visited with AM, the youngest, in the care of her, in the care of her grandmother, but fictive grandmother, but with her mother present. I saw nothing but love and affection and super amount of concern as to how this could have happened. Absolutely no, just kind of a parent's nightmare. And I think that she was very appropriate with the child then. The home was fabulous where the child was, which was her fictive grandmother's home. And I just honestly have never seen a parent so attentive. So I think that she's gone through a lot. I think that it's been very hard for her because she does have some depression, and it only made it worse to have CPS remove her child and to learn that her child had been injured and she couldn't explain it. I also have visited with the two boys at her fictive mother's home, and they're very active, very bouncy, very normal, Lego, electronic magnetic Lego making kids. And I know that her mother, her fictive mother takes great care of them, and I think the family is all willing to help. So I totally support a return to the home. I don't see any risk of harm. Especially if we can get KRP in place, I think we'll be good with rapid reunification and rapid closure. I don't perceive anything coming forward to stop that from happening. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kennedy.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would support the recommendations. I've been working with Ms. Mubarak, I think since the beginning of February when the prelim happened, and I've gotten to kind of really get to know her because she's very clear that her children mean the world to her, and she's going to do whatever she can to have them all be together. She appreciates her entire family unit. She just seems to be just an appreciative person, and she got really lucky with getting Miss Trishler and Miss Martin because they had open eyes and they worked really hard. And Miss Gaston has been amazing to just kind of look at this case from a unique perspective and allow the family to maintain as close a connection as they can while also, putting some safeguards in. So I think her responses, her behavior, her demeanor, all speak to this just being something that she can't tell you what happened. She doesn't know. She wants to protect her children and keep them safe. And this has been really hard on her. And she just wants to be able to take care of her kids again full time. So she would be appreciative of any order that allows that. She will continue to work. She enjoys the therapy. She enjoys learning. And I just ask the court to allow her to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. The court finds that the lawyer guardian ad litem has complied with the requirements of the statute. Reasonable efforts were made to preserve and reunify the family, make it possible for AM the younger to safely return home. Reasonable efforts for reunification should be continued. In accordance with the statute, progress towards alleviating or mitigating the conditions that cause the children or the child, AM the younger, to be placed or remain in temporary foster care has been made by Ms. Mubarak. That the child's continued placement is no longer necessary or appropriate once KRP is in place. Let's see. The court orders that the children continue in the protective and temporary custody of the court, continue the placement of AM the youngest pending KRP being in place, that AM the eldest and AL remain home with mother under the supervision of the department, that mother comply with and benefit from the case service plan, that the parenting time pending return of AM the younger is at the discretion of the agency. Continue the attorneys in this matter, and then Ms. Gibson, do we have a date for 45 days from now for a formal review?
I'm sorry, I was muted. One moment, please. We're gonna have to go a little bit sooner than 45 days, but I have Wednesday, June 3rd at 11 a.m.
Any conflicts with that date or time?
I'm sorry, I have a in-person termination hearing that morning, and I just don't know.
That's
Okay.
fine. Just say yes. We'll find another date.
Okay. It's gonna be more like a month, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay. How is Wednesday, May 27 at 11 a.m.?
Works for me.
That'll work for me.
Okay. Then we will see you on May 27th at 11 a.m. And Ms. Mubarak, I'm very happy to hear how you've really embraced services and are working very hard. And it sounds like you do have your children's best interest at heart. And so appreciate that and just keep up the good work.
Thank you for taking the case and consider.
You're welcome. Anything further?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
By the end of the hearing, the court recognized the mother's progress and chose reunification over termination, while the youngest child will remain under supervision until additional services are in place. The overall goal is to bring this family back together safely. It's a reminder that child protection cases aren't just about what went wrong, they're also about whether parents can demonstrate the ability to provide a safe and stable home. If you enjoyed this courtroom breakdown, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom cases and legal analysis.